Hey everybody, Chris Lancet with Cosmos Stories TV in another installment of one of my favorite sections of our YouTube channel, Conversations Worth Having. And today's conversation worth having is me picking a bone with Joe Cunningham about his new book, Life of the Party: How Democrats Lost America's Trust and How They Can Win It Back. If you're not familiar with his work, he was the gentleman in South Carolina who ran for the Democratic Party and actually took a seat in the U.S. House of Representatives in a heavily red district, putting one in the win column for the Democrats. He served one term, had a very close second race, and didn't quite make it out of that one. The reason I bought this book is because when I read about it in the Washington Post, it talked about how he, in this piece, starts challenging the Democratic Party at large for spending too much time on social issues and not enough time on issues affecting people where they live, in their pockets, and in the places that they hold most important in terms of other issues. So great, because I certainly am a Democratic voter who would like to see us stop engaging in the social wars, because every time we fall for it, we do the Republicans a favor. I have to say, however, that after I didn't just skim the book, I studied it hard, the way I always do. I'm hitting it with a highlighter. I'm making notes in the margins. I'm debating the author of a given book. And all he really seems to say in this book are two things: that Democrats need to do a better job of listening, and we should stop insulting the other side. We should stop insulting other voters who care just as much about this country as we do. I will tell you personally that I have struggled with that second one a lot. The era of Trump has really strained my ability to look at the other side as compassionately as I used to, working my way through it. And certainly the Democratic Party needs to do a better job of listening. And he's absolutely right when he says we have to get out of the culture wars business. We can still stand up for things like transgender rights without making it such a dominant part of the platform and seemingly sometimes the only thing we ever talk about. I absolutely agree with him. We absolutely have to fight those fights and stand up for everybody. Everybody in America deserves equal rights. But where this book comes up so short, Mr. Cunningham, is when you talk about how the Democrats, can win it back. There's really very little in here that addresses that. He raises questions about the cost of living, the incredible cost of housing these days, the price of eggs, the price of oil. He mentions those things, but he only offers a few obscure solutions on relatively minor issues. And at the end of it, he even says, and I'm quoting from the book, some may flip through these pages and complain there are not enough policy points to make up a platform on which a Democrat can successfully lead the party or turn the nose of the ship. I've addressed the kitchen table issues that have been and remain important to voters. No, you haven't. You talk about gerrymandering. We can all agree gerrymandering bad. But there's really very little in here about what we, the blue team, can do to win the country back. Would I buy this book if I were you? Honestly, probably not. Because we learned in kindergarten, let's listen better, let's stop insulting people. If you're looking for real policy solutions that could energize independent voters and the Democratic Party at large, this ain't the book. Joe Cunningham, admire you, admire your work, love you. If you ever run again for something and I can vote for you, I certainly will. But I wish this book had offered so much more, because I didn't come away with any ideas from it that got me excited about how the Democratic Party can win back America's trust. Stay tuned for other videos on Cosmos Stories TV. Or learn how to edit videos.